What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Reformed Reader, the channel where we review different forms of media through the lens of a Christian who is under the authority of the scriptures. My name is Josh, and today we're going to be doing our monthly wrap-up. So we're going to be wrapping up the month of December and wrapping up 2025. It has been a wild year, an interesting year. Yeah, interesting is probably the best word for it. So let's jump right in with just a very quick life update. I have had a terrible reading month. Absolutely atrocious. I didn't do a lot of reading, and I will get into that in a minute, but I have just been in probably the biggest reading slump ever. It has really hit me this month. Almost like, I don't necessarily want to say it's burnout, but it's like definitely on the precipice of reading burnout. Not burnout of the channel, not burnout of making videos or whatever. You know, you can see all the videos, people talking about that. It's not that, it's just reading. I've just been really bogged down and just found myself not wanting to pick up a book at all. As a matter of fact, I picked up a book last night to start and just closed it immediately. I was just like, I'm just not in the mood to read. I just want to watch some TV shows and some movies, or really anything else. Like, I really don't know what I want to do. I just know that my mind was just not primed to pick up a novel. And part of it is like, I'm going to have to pick up something new. And so I know with that, it's going to be like, am I going to start a new series? Because I don't really want to start a new series without wrapping up others. And on top of that, I'm like, okay, so if I pick up something new, I'm going to have to learn a new cast of characters, whole new world, maybe a whole new magic system. And so I kind of stayed away from fantasy. And then I was like, yeah, but Sun Eater is my main sci-fi. So I really don't want to jump into sci-fi either. So maybe I'll try something a little bit different. Anyway, so I've been in a horrible reading slump. Yeah, you're about to see evidence of that, because let's just go over what did I read. So I started the month off with Weird Space 2, Dawn of the Warriors by A.M. Wiley. Fantastic book. So good. I think book one eked it out just a little bit. I'm a sucker for like Small Town USA, and book two doesn't focus so much on Small Town USA, but I don't think there was like any sort of degradation in the writing or anything like that. I just preferred book one, but I am really looking forward to Mr. Wiley wrapping it up. Want to see what happens, but the end of book two, well, I think I liked like most of book one more, but I enjoyed the end of book two more. The end of book two was really good. So yeah, wrap that one up. And then I read Inkheart by Cornelia Funke, is how it says in the book, is how it's pronounced. And this was the one that I picked from my brother Zeke when we did our group discussion. This was a middle grade. Fantastic. Again, it was very good. I do think that maybe I'm not the target audience for it. I think I would have loved this coming off the heels of Harry Potter. I think this is an excellent read for like between 10 to 14-year-old, probably something like that. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It does have a little bit of like maybe creepiness. I don't even think that's like, I don't want to say dark, but there's just like enough of a creep factor there that it made it vastly different. Really intriguing and unique story. And that's kind of hard to come by nowadays, especially in fantasy. And I would say even more so in like middle grade. Very interesting. Loved the father-daughter relationship. And I will be posting a dedicated review for that probably within the next week or two. And then that's all that I finished. Now that's not all that I read, but those were the only 2 books that I finished. So yeah, pretty smelly reading month. So let's talk about, I started reading Shadows Upon Time. I have not read much in Shadows Upon Time. I've just been bogged down with all kinds of things on top of a reading slump. And so I plan to pick that back up this week and to dive headfirst into it and to really just start plowing through it, because I do want to see how it wraps up. And I have other books kind of waiting. But obviously I didn't finish it. I'm still at like the 30% mark, if that tells you anything. And it's not because it's bad. I just want to make sure that I make that clear. It is fantastic. I just haven't found myself in the mood for it. And that plays a big part in it for me. So there are 2 books that I DNF'd. And one I'm not going to talk about it for numerous reasons. but DNF'd it pretty early. And then another one was a zombie book by Tim Leben, I think's how you pronounce his name, and it's called Coldbrook. So I was looking for something a little bit different, and was like, oh, a cool zombie story would be good. I really wanted something that was kind of World War Z-esque. And so I started just typing up, like, what are some top tier zombie books? And this one came up, and it was like an interesting take on zombies, because it was almost like they opened a dimension similar to Stranger Things, and a zombie essentially a zombie, got through from the other side and started the virus and the infection worldwide. And was really digging it. I got about maybe a quarter of the way through, and it got really, really graphic and sexually explicit. One of the most sexually explicit scenes in a book that I've read. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just not in the mood for this. I'm not, maybe not even not in the mood. It's like, I'm not gonna read this. It's pretty gross. It's smutty. So I was just like, no, it's not for me. I don't understand why we do that in zombie books, by the way. I don't know why, like the zombie apocalypse has come, so we need to do like graphic sex stuff. Anyway, that doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. So I read Weird Space 2, I read Inkheart, I read some more of Sun Eater, and then I had 2 DNFs. So if you want to call that 5, you can. I wouldn't, because I didn't get very far in either of the DNFs, but there you go. It is what it is. So this leads me into what am I going to read? I'm going to wrap up Sun Eater. That is the priority for January, which means that everything on my TBR from December and January is going to have to shift a little bit. What I mean is, I talked about reading Malice and reading a few other things, and all of those things are just going to have to shift down the line a little bit. And I don't think it's a negative thing, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to hate read something. So I'm going to finish up Sun Eater, and then I'm going to read either Cinder Spires or Combat Codes. If I can read both, then I very well may. I'll probably start Cinder Spires because it'll be a lot different from Sun Eater in comparison to Combat Codes, because I know Combat Codes is more sci-fi-esque. Yeah, I think I'll probably jump into Cinder Spires. I hear it's pretty easy to read, so maybe I'll fly through that one. And then the only other one that I have sort of on the docket is 12 Months by Jim Butcher, and this is the next installment of the Dresden Files. At the time of recording this, I think it comes out in like a couple of weeks. So I do plan to read that. I don't know if I'll do audio, not sure yet, but yeah. So those are really the only 3 things I have on the list. And then if I have time for something else, and it may be what I jump into now, I'm just not sure. Like I said, trying to figure out how to get out of this reading slump. I may jump into something that's like a mystery. I may jump into a Dennis Lehane or a John Le Carre, something like that. I just need something vastly different from what I've been reading. Nothing super exciting, but Sun Eater, like I said, it's super, super thick. So this brings me to a new segment of the monthly wrap-ups, and it's going to be viewer submissions. So what I'm going to do, and one of my favorite things from the Talking Story channel was when they did Town Square, and I get to talk to you guys pretty regularly in the comment section, but it seems a little disassociated or detached. And so what I would like to do is something similar, and I would love for you guys to send in a video or maybe just a question, an email or whatever. Love for you guys to send in a video, maybe an audio file, or even if it's just an email, and sort of let you guys take center stage. So if you guys have any questions, that would be a great time to ask it. Or if you guys maybe have a book recommendation, or you guys just have something that you want to tell the audience out here, I would love to give you guys the platform to be able to do that. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but let me tell you that is what got me started into making videos. It's like, yeah, I can record a quick little 1 to 3 minute little video and send it in, and yeah, there we go. It'd be off to the races. And it led to this. So I'd love to give some of you guys that opportunity as well. Or maybe if you guys just have like, hey, I really want you to review this book that I've seen on your shelves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my email right here. It is thereformedreaderbooks@gmail.com. And you have up until Friday, January 23rd to submit a video, an audio file, or maybe just an email question or whatever, and I will watch listen or review whatever your submissions are for the next monthly wrap up. So in the next monthly wrap up, I will view all these live for you guys. I'll try not to pre-screen anything, but that doesn't mean everything will make it, just in case somebody decides to be vulgar or whatever. I would just love to be able to let you guys turn the camera around, give you guys an opportunity to maybe talk about a book that you've read that you absolutely loved, or maybe you had some sort of burning question you've been wanting to ask me, or whatever. Maybe just show off your bookshelves. I don't know. I would love to be able to give you guys that opportunity if you so chose. So that's Friday, January 23rd, just by the end of the day. That way I can put all of the clips and things together. That would be fantastic. Try to keep it under 3 minutes if you can, in large part because it's hard to send those files over. So if you guys want to submit anything on the channel whatsoever, just the reformreaderbooks@gmail.com. Shoot me a video, or maybe just a voice memo, or just an email, and it'll be on next month's monthly wrap up. So this leads me to what's coming up on the channel. Got a few things. You guys seem to like the weekly updates, so I plan to continue those. There won't be one this week because I'm doing a monthly wrap up. So I'm just going to do my weekly wrap up next Sunday. So I'm going to keep doing those. They're easy, they're fun, and I can just get to talk to you guys and hang out with you a little bit more. And so I'm not going to complain about that. So I've got my weekly updates, and then I'm still going to do my one book review a week. I want to make sure that I put those out weekly. And so then on top of that, what are we doing? Well, I already put out my top 10 books of 2025. So I've got 26 books for 2026. That'll be a pretty interesting video because it'll be quite different in taste compared to last year's. And maybe I'll post it before that video, which is I'm going to sort of do an update on my 25 books for 2025 video. So it's like a 2025 TBR update, and we'll see how horribly I bombed. It's bad. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. So that'll be a pretty fun video. And then I have 5 theological works that impacted my life. This is a video that was requested by a few people, but Chris in particular. So rather than give you just 5 books or what, I'm going to give you 5 theological works that really changed the way that I think. That'll be coming very soon. And then I'm going to do my 2025 tier ranking. I think I did the first half in July or August. So I did the first 6 months. So I'm going to do a tier ranking video of all the books that I read in 2025. So that's a pretty stacked list. I've pushed my next video with my bride to next month because my TBR is just so stacked that I don't need to lose another challenge and add another book that I have to read right now. So we'll do that probably in February. But yes, some pretty cool videos coming up. So this leads me into my book haul. I'm going to try to keep this pretty short because if you guys watch my weekly updates, I try to just sprinkle them in when I get them there because otherwise I'll forget. So let's talk about some Christmas pickups. My wife and kids bought me Batman Resurrection by John Jackson Miller. So this takes place in the Michael Keaton Batman universe. This takes place between Batman and Batman Returns. So this is immediately after Jack Nicholson's Joker met his demise. Spoiler alert. But then they also bought me Batman Revolution. And these came highly, highly recommended from my friend Jonathan Cohn. Really looking forward to picking these up. Love that universe. Love the Michael Keaton movies. So he was telling me how much he has absolutely loved these. It's a duology. Have really enjoyed John Jackson Miller. He is the author of the Kenobi book that I enjoyed. So yeah, really looking forward to jumping into these. And look at that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Then next on the list, I received a copy of Shadows Upon Time. And this one kind of threw me, and let me explain why. Because if you can see behind me here, I have the Broken Binding editions of the Sun Eater books, with the exception of Disquiet Gods and Shadows Upon Time, because they're not out yet, but I do plan on picking them up. So when Shadows Upon Time was announced, Quail Ridge Books, I believe that's the name of the bookstore, that hosted the gala and all of those kind of things, they did a pre-order of Shadows Upon Time, and you could get it signed and customized if you wanted to. So I pre-ordered it when it was available, and that was before I purchased the Broken Binding editions. And so after I purchased those, I canceled my order because I was like, well, I don't need 2 copies of this book. And then I just received a package from Quail Ridge Books, and I open it up, and it's signed and personalized. And so I was like, okay, somebody made a mistake. So I emailed Quail Ridge, and I told them, I was like, look, I received this copy of this book. I canceled the order. I looked to make sure I received my refund. I did receive my refund. So I didn't pay for this. So, if you guys need me to pay for it or send it back, and they're like, nope, our mistake. So enjoy a free copy of Shadows Upon Time on us. And we hope that you support Quail Ridge Books, in the future. And so thank you so much. I'm sorry, to be a burden, but I absolutely will order books from you from here on out if I see anything interesting. So yeah, super cool. Merry Christmas to me. So that was really, really cool. And then the last one that I picked up, some of you guys may have already seen this in one of my weekly updates, but my friend Jordan over at First Line Library sent me a copy of the first half of the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. Man, thank you so much. He also sent a very gracious letter, which is fantastic. But yeah, such a good brother. He just wanted to make sure I had a copy of this. And I think this is Samwise approved. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, my friend. Genuinely appreciate it. And looking forward to, I believe this very well may make the books for 2026 for me. So this leads me into the last segment, which is our book giveaway. So for the book giveaway this month, I'm going to be giving away a copy of Gone South by Robert McCammon. Now, I want to preface this by saying I have not read this book. I do not know what it's about. I loved Boy's Life, and so picked this up when I picked up Swan Song. And I think Robert McCammon just may not be an author for me. I think Boy's Life was a bit of an anomaly. Some of you guys may disagree. And so because of that, I don't really think I'm going to keep this. And so I would love to get it into the hands of one of you that may actually enjoy it. This is a brand new unread copy that I purchased like 2 years ago. It's just been sitting on my shelves. So I'd love to get this into your hands. So if you are interested in winning Gone South, I only ask that you do two things. First, be subscribed to the channel. This is a very small token for me to be able to say thank you to you guys that have been such gracious supporters of the channel. So please be subscribed to the channel. That's not because I'm looking for subscribers, but it is because there are people that will just flood the comments and trying to get something free and not actually have been a supporter of the channel. That might sound negative. I don't mean that in a narcissistic way. But yeah, this is for you guys who have been such supporters of the channel. Thank you so much. So if you're interested, just in the comment section below, just in your comment somewhere, put Gone South, or I'm interested in Gone South, or whatever, and you'll be entered to win. And I will do the drawing on January 9th. So that's 1 week from today, I believe, is when when I'll be posting this. So January 9th, that's Friday. Have it in by that Friday, and I will announce the winner in my weekly update, which will be that following Sunday, which is the 11th. Future Josh here, realizing that I completely forgot to do my YouTube Spotlight. So for my YouTube Spotlight for this month, I have two channels that I'd like to recommend. The first one is a brand new channel from my new friend Casey over at Bookbuster Reviews. First of all, he has a fantastic logo. Secondly, it's another great booktube channel, somebody that is able to break down the books that they've read, the impact that they had on them. He does an excellent job of being able to articulate some of the nuance that is steeped inside some of these books that he has read. So I highly recommend Casey's channel over at Bookbuster Reviews, so make sure you go and check him out. And then the second channel, which is sort of my booktube adjacent channel, is going to be Cinematic Soul. And they have sort of that ambient music that I tend to like to listen to when I'm reading different types of books. One in particular is this Lord of the Rings ambient video. It has this really cool picture of Aragorn on the front. But yeah, I highly recommend this channel as well for getting sort of immersing yourself into the story that you're reading. So make sure you go and check out both of these channels, and back to our regularly scheduled programming. So yeah, that's 2025. December was sort of a swing and a miss for me. I hope it was a great month for you guys. Hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas and are looking forward to the new year. Again, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.